There's a lot of opinions around the topic of whether you should design a website first using a design app such as Figma, XD, Sketch, or even Photoshop, or should you simply jump straight into your page builder and let the creative juices fly. In this video, I'm going to share my experience from having done it both ways over the years, and then at the end, I'm going to share 3 or maybe 4 of my favorite tools that'll help your website design process be silky smooth. Hey, I'm Ryan. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time, welcome. This channel is all about sharing tools and tips to help you build better and smarter websites. Please consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you're notified of new videos. Now, let me start by saying there really is no right or wrong way about designing and building a website. From initial design concept through to actually launching your website, the process you choose simply comes down to the type of projects you're accustomed to working on and really what you're comfortable with. If, say, you're building a website using a pre-established theme or page builder kit, then really the design is pretty much already set. You might need to adjust some colors, fonts to match your brand, but to be honest, most of your work is going to be spent working through how to fit your content into the existing layouts. Now, on the other hand, you might be designing and developing a custom website. Now, this is the style of project that I'm normally working on. It's in these cases that we need to make a decision about whether we're going to use a design app to mock up our website before we jump into our page builder, or do we reach straight for our page builder? The caveat here is that with the rise of page builders, this choice of using a page builder is actually a legitimate one. It's fairly quick to put together and mock up a website, especially when you're familiar with the tools and elements that are available in your builder. I've tried the page builder approach, and I've definitely tried the design app approach. Figma, XD, Sketch, Photoshop, I've given them all a shot. Even good old Macromedia fireworks back in the day. With all that being said, let's look at the differences I've found between designing directly in my page builder versus using a design app first. And let me reiterate, there really is no right or wrong answer here, but if you're unsure, maybe my experience can help you. So let's first look at designing directly in the page builder. Let's say I have a clear picture of what the site I'm building is going to look like in my head. So I'm going to jump straight in and begin laying out my design. I begin by dropping in elements and widgets, setting colors, fonts, adjusting margins, padding like a boss. Look, if I'm feeling lucky, I might even begin toying with custom positioning, motion effects. I am on fire. The design is coming together. I might even move on to rolling out some global elements such as headers and footers. But here's where the approach comes unstuck for me. Whether I like it or not, I'm actually compromising on smart design. Apart from a few global elements, fonts or colors I may have added along the way, my design ends up having all of these individually styled elements that aren't taking into account the rest of my website as a whole. Adjusting margins and paddings to get my layout sitting just right means that I'm going to have to adjust these same margins and paddings in every other section of every other page. Of course, I can copy and paste sections, I can paste style, but then when I'm just about finished rolling out all the pages, I realize I forgot to update a responsive layout of a section, which forces me to go back through those sections on every other page and fix it up. Now, if this hasn't happened to you, you must be a webmaster Jedi. Please let me know your secret. Now, I get that some page builders handle this kind of thing differently, but with builders like Elementor, so much time can be wasted. There are, however, a few tricks that can make this process so much easier. More on this later. My point here is that when I'm designing directly in my page builder, my focus is on design. I'm actually not thinking like a developer. When I'm designing, I need to be thinking creatively, thinking about the user experience. For me, when I try to combine these two very important steps, I find something has to give. Either my designs are lacking because I'm focused on functionality, or my development is clunky because I'm too focused on making things look pretty. Love to hear your thoughts around this. Let me know in the comments how you find the balance between design and development. The second thing for me that comes unstuck when I design directly in my page builder is actually my page builder itself. And yes, this can have its benefits, having all of my available widgets ready to be incorporated into my design. But for me, at least, I actually find this a distraction. It becomes too easy to simply rely on elements that I have rather than actually looking outside the box and looking for creative and fresh ways to display my content in a way that will actually help the website I'm trying to build stand out. I found that when I design first, without the distraction of shiny widgets, I end up creating a more professional and unique design, while at the same time actually growing my development skills. What do I mean by this? Well, the creative design I came up with when I wasn't distracted by my page builder then forces me to research, learn, and implement creative ways as a developer to manipulate my layouts with custom scripts and styles. Why don't you drop a comment below and let us know how you bring creativity to your designs without being stuck in the page builder box. Now let's quickly look at when starting with a design app. And if I'm honest, I haven't been too cagey about where I stand on this whole topic. For me, using a design app from the beginning of the process allows me to focus solely on my design and the user experience without getting distracted by plugins and widgets. I can take the time to set up global style kits that clearly show my font styles, colors, and buttons, and help me pay attention to spacing between elements until the layout feels right. I then get the advantage of easily being able to zoom out and having a global overview to see how everything marries up, making sure everything is consistent across the board. Bottom line, my entire design is more holistic and succinct. Okay, so there might be some benefits for using a design app. Great, but we still need to build out our site. How do we take our design and build it out in a way that will actually save us time in the long run? Well, the first step, and this really is fundamental to building out a design that is consistent from start through to finish, is to take the time to set up your global styles based on your design. To do this, here are 3 quick tools, and we really are going to fly through these, but they're going to assist you to design and develop smarter. Number 1 is type scale. If you've spent any time at all trying to get the correct type structure for your website and simply feel like you're winging it, well, you're certainly not alone. The way we use typography can simply make or break a great design. Type scale allows us to preview a bunch of commonly used sizing ratios, and those that are musically minded, note the nod to scale intervals here. All you need to do is simply choose your ratio and then click to generate your CSS to show exactly what's going on. Perfect fifth and golden ratio are my faves here. Number 2 is Zeplin. Zeplin is a very handy app that basically bridges the gap between your design and your development. It allows you to export your Figma, XD, and Sketch designs and give you a bunch of tools that can help. There's some great functionality in here, even if you're the one developing the site or if you're preparing the site to be handed over to a developer. Without getting into this too much, one of the features I absolutely love is the automatic style kits. Just say you design your beautiful website in Figma, but haven't actually spent the time laying out your style guide. Zeplin comes to the rescue with this, interpreting your design and creating a clean style guide ready to build. The third one here is actually a combo, and that's why I said 3, maybe 4, because I didn't want anyone to miss out. Now, if you're an Oxygen or Bricks user, then automatic CSS is a great addition to your framework. It sets up a bunch of key classes and defaults, allowing you to build faster and smarter. You have the option of customizing it as much as you like, but out of the box, it's ready to go. For my fellow Elementor users, I didn't want you to miss out. However, with a lot of this, our hands are tied. Elementor, if you're listening, please, we desperately need more intuitive global styling. So obviously there's no silver bullet to solve this with Elementor yet, but there is one tool that without it, I know I would be totally lost, and that is style kits for Elementor. It's not going to give you the full global styling experience that other page builders have the privilege of, but it's definitely a start. They give you a bunch of built-in templates that follow their global style techniques, but what I love is the added global controls it offers. Even in their free version, you get global control over your outer section padding and column gaps, which is a really great asset when creating consistent layouts. You do get some simple global section class control, allowing you to set colors for backgrounds and fonts for dark and light sections. The one thing, however, I love here is to utilize the 5 button sizes that we have as my button variants. This way, I'm never having to copy and paste styles between buttons. I simply choose a size for my button and it's already styled. A huge thanks to Grant Hawkey for this little tip. I hope you found this video helpful. If so, please consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, bye for now.